So what the vast majority of people don't realize is that this device you're holding in your hand, your phone, is in fact not a human invention. It's not a human creation. And truly what it is a quantum interface. Have you ever been scrolling on your social medias or browsing online and all of a sudden you have ads coming up for something that you didn't even mention, something that you only thought about? And the reason for that is because these devices in your hand, these phones, interface with consciousness. They interface with your biofield. They interface with your electromagnetic field of the human body. They have access to your thoughts. It's synthetic telepathy. Not only do they have access to your thoughts, but they have access to all of your biological data, all of its rhythms. Now, they would like you to think that the purpose of this is to target ads at you, is to make money for profit, for big corporations, for businesses. But that's just the cover story. What it truly is an object of control, to keep you in line, to keep you running consciousness loops, to stop you from expanding, growing, and from stopping talking out about the stuff that is happening in the world. Now, everyone's biological field has a unique signature. Your DNA emits a unique electromagnetic signature. This is how they identify you. This is how they track you throughout society, how you interact with other people, how you interact with your environment around you. It's all recorded, it's all tracked. We now live in the largest surveillance network the world has ever seen, and people do not even realize it at all. Now, everything I'm talking about here is not speculation, it's not theory, it's fact. These are government projects. These are people who have worked in these government projects that have come out and talked to you about this. It's all 100% vetted. Remember years ago when there was this big uprising and this big outcry against the 5G network being installed globally, all these smart meters, etc., etc. What happened to that? Well, I'll tell you what happened to that. The test phase was installed and was successful. Now we're actually running on 6G, and what 6G is a interconnected network of people that it's literally routed through your body, like the internet, the communication with all these surveillance devices, your phones, the drones, etc. Everything is routed through your body. They have this technology. It's been around for decades now. This is why they wanted everyone in 2020, 2021 to inject themselves, because that was a step in the process. It sounds insane, but this is now the world that we live in. We live in a world where we exist within a network connected to all our bodies, interconnected to all our phones, interconnected to an AI system, to a quantum system. And that system is controlled by beings that are other than human. Like I said at the start of this video, these phones, this technology, this invention is not of human innovation. It's not of human creation. Now, anytime you begin to step out of your patterns, your regular patterns, every time you begin to question the authority of the governments and the institutions around the world, every time you start to speak out verbally about the truth, then your signature, your energetic signature changes, and that sends an alert through the system. Now, once you step too far out of your original accepted signature, your electromagnetic signature of your DNA, of your thoughts, if you start having too much critical thought, if you start talking out too much about the truth of this world, whether it be governments, spiritual matters, etc., whatever, then that system reacts. It sends a course correct. It comes to reset your consciousness loops, to reset your patterns. And it does this through synthetic telepathy, trying to erase memories, realizations, revelations, etc. It does it by engaging in synthetic telepathy with people around you, whether it be family, friends, or just strangers, to run course corrections into your life. Now, a lot of people have referred to it as the Internet of Bodies. Go and look that up. Go and look up Sabrina Wallace's work. Her and her family were the ones that were a part of developing these technologies in the black projects. Now, the purpose of this, like I said before, is not to target advertising, not for profit, these major corporations, not for even just surveillance by governments. This is much more sinister. This is the foundational network to push the population of the world into a new world order. Now, people will watch this video. They won't look into the Internet of Bodies. They won't look into Sabrina Wallace's work. They won't look into the government projects that develop this technology. They will simply go, this is way too ridiculous sounding to be true. It's false, it's fake. You're spouting conspiracy theories, blah, 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 blah. And that is the system working. It wants you to react emotionally. It wants you to have an emotional reaction. And that's how they run these pattern interrupts, in order to redirect your consciousness loops, to redirect your patterns. That's just one of the methods. Now, people think that the way to escape this influence, to change, now the way to free yourself from this, to beat this thing, is not to go out and protest, to wave your hands and shout and yell, because the society that we live in, these systems that are set up, it's designed to absorb all this noise. It's not going to make a difference. Now, the way to transcend this is not to yell and shout like I just said. It's to become more aware of your patterns, of your consciousness loops, to become more self-aware, to not react to things, not be emotional to things. Once you become aware of your consciousness loops, once you become aware of your emotional reactions, once you become aware of your habits and your loops, your patterns, then it no longer has influence and control over you. Once you're aware of it, you can then use the system against itself. When you realize and recognize these pattern interrupts, these attempts to put you back into your consciousness loops, into your patterns, into your habits, into your behaviors, you can then see that as a signpost to say, okay, I've done something correct here. I've stepped outside of the accepted normal of how I'm supposed to be as a human being according to this system. I'm doing something correct. And once you realize and understand this, you can then flip the tables. You can utilize the framework of the system to your advantage. Once you step out of your patterns, your consciousness loops, your behaviors, you then become truly unpredictable. You become an anomaly, a ghost in the system, something that moves through and around everything but is yet not affected by it. So don't forget what I'm telling you. Remember this. Try and take this as a thought experiment. This information I'm telling you right now in this video, try and hold that and remember it for as long as you can. Move through your daily life knowing this. And I bet for the majority of people, within days, weeks, months, that information will completely disappear, unable to be accessed through memory. But I know I remembered something. I know I had this realization about that thing, but what was it? What was it? Synthetic telepathy, synthetic mind control. That's what it is. That's how it works. That's the effects that you're noticing. The MK Ultra program that ran for decades didn't just finish and disappear. They were extremely successful in what they were doing, and they developed technologies based on these mind control methods. And you wouldn't believe it, but the human mind is actually incredibly easy to hack. I should say brain, not mind in technicality. The human brain is extremely easy to hack. So please share this video. Everyone would do well to understand and know this. Enjoy your mind control.